YouTube, Dawson Ryder here. Welcome to my review for Kikai Sentai Zenkaiger episode 47. And this was a big episode, definitely heading into the finale stuff. Thank God, no stupid filler story of the week. Thank God, I think we're finally at Stacy's redemption story, although I hope he doesn't die like immediately after it, like a lot of these tropes go. So basically, we pick up where we left off, where the Rangers are getting ready to be transported into the base by Gigi, who's agreed to get them in. They're bidding farewell to the grandmother, she's wishing them luck, and then they get a portal into the base, and they're invading right when the boss is like, oh, I'm going to absorb all the powers of these worlds, and they're like, you can't possibly be thinking about doing that, and that's right when the Rangers break into attack. Although it's funny because, like, immediately when they get in front of the big boss, they get knocked out and, like, knocked down into this area where they meet a bunch of other civilians down there. But it was kind of cool to see them rush into the base, though. It's not something you see necessarily a lot, and it was just kind of neat to see, even if, like, the base set outside of the main room is a bunch of rooms with a series of pipes. And while you have that going on, you still have those little teases of Gigi, like, sending people back to their normal worlds, like he's posing as this old man and he's sending people back. I'm curious to see exactly where that's leading. But also you have Stacy reflecting on everything, and he's like, well, time for my redemption arc. I better think about the same exact things I've been thinking about for 40 episodes just at least one more time. He goes and sees the grandmother, like, for real him, not possessed him, this time for the first time in a long time. And he's like, look, my real name's not Satoshi, it's Stacy, and I tried to kill your grandson. And she forgives him because she's a Toku character, and they like to do stuff like that really easily. But it was a really nice scene for sure, you know, definitely a scene we've been building towards, where he kind of admits, like, what we found out last week or a couple weeks ago when he was talking to Kaito about how he just wanted to initially outdo his dad, and then he became jealous of Kaito because he had such great parents compared to him, and such faith in his parents, and also, like, this loving system, so he wanted to kill him. But it's just, I can't imagine someone being like, oh, I tried to kill your son or grandson. I'm like, I forgive you because I'm a Toku character. Like, I know they've developed a bond, but still a nice scene for this, very predictable. I'm just glad we're finally getting to the Stacy redemption. You know, it's just taken way too long. I'll have very many thoughts about that during the series review. He arrives to help the Rangers along with Not Navi, who helps save the Rangers when they're in danger. And Two Kaiser shows back up and they're like, oh, I thought you were going to get this fixed. He's like, well, it's going to take a while and we're here to help. And the Two Kaiser and Stacy transform and fight together. And then Big Professor Guy is the one that's like the main fight of this episode, as he shows up in a mecha for the big fight. And Kaito and Vroon are on the ground while the others are fighting just as their big mecha individual forms. And it's one of those times I kind of forget that their sort of transformed mecha forms are almost like Shogun Zords, Super Zeo Zords in terms of the way they work. So they're fighting like that for a little while the others need to get their morphers back, which the civilians find and use briefly and then give back to them. Which, I don't know, I thought that was kind of funny and also kind of a nice scene. But then when they grow up, they become Power Rangers. When they get their morphers back and they morph and they grow up to big size, we get like this cool 6-person roll call with all 5 of them and Not Navi. And we do the final battle with the 2 original main mecha. It's kind of like the Professor's finale fight, kind of the culmination of the fact that he's used like his dad's technology and like the good versus the evil technology and the final destruction of him. And I thought that was really cool. Like, it almost seems like maybe each one of the main villains will get a finale fight. Like, we'll have, you know, Professor now, and then we'll have Stacy's dad, and then the big bad that's like gestating right now, and then maybe something with Gigi, even though he's carrying over to Don Brothers. But I really liked the way that worked, and it was a pretty epic fight. Like, there was lots of really epic fight scenes. I also liked that there was mecha and ground action going on. That was something I used to like back in the Go Busters days. I just like when they change the formula up a little bit, so there's a lot more going on at once. But at the end of the episode, it appears that Gigi has possessed Flint, and she's talking to the big boss guy as he's sort of gestating, I guess, absorbing all these powers, and that's kind of the cliffhanger we leave off on. But yeah, it was an overall solid episode. Lots of really good finale-feeling stakes, finale-feeling action. I liked the final fight with the Professor. Even though it was predictable, the scenes with Stacy were nice, and I'm glad we're finally getting there with only a few episodes left to spare. And they're doing some really good table setting for the end, and they still have some, what I like too is there's kind of this mystery going on about Gigi's motivation and exactly what he's doing. Not to mention the added thing of thinking in the back of my head how any of this might possibly play into Don Brothers, because I guess the version of Kaito we see in Don Brothers, like in the trailer, apparently might just be an AU version, but I also imagine there might be some, you know, cross storylines, I'm not sure, but regardless, you know, I'm enjoying the final arc here. I think this was a solid episode. I'd give it a 4 out of 5, but what did you guys think of the episode? What did you think about Stacy's final redemption and all that? Let me know in the comments as always. Until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and climb the steps and ring that bell so notifications for my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.